Brand is a feeling. It's a gut feeling. Like instantly, are you attracted or does it remove trust, right? Do you feel connected or you don't?
My name is Nick Berry, and this is another episode of Connected Conversations in Insurance, brought to you by Canopy Connect. Today, I have my internet friend, Ciara Gravier, and
We've met in person.
yeah, we met in person too. But most everybody's my internet friend.
Right, right.
But Ciara, go ahead and give yourself a quick intro, and let's get into it.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and spend some time with you. I'm Ciara, owner of the Bunker Insurance and Risk Management out of South Florida. Been in insurance for over 20 years already. Um, Doing all kinds of things. Started in the captive world, went independent, sold it, went independent again. Opened 6 months before the world ended in March 2020. So it's been a fun and wild ride, I would say. I don't know if I already said it, commercial only. So slower growth for sure. But I'm in South Florida, so the market is just, if you know anything about personal lines in Florida, it's not great. So um I just always knew I wanted to do something a little different. We did a lot of homeowners at our last agency and it was, service heavy, staff heavy. And so I knew that I wanted to do something a little bit more boutique, more consultation style. So, we opened the Bunker going on 6 years in November. We're still here, doing things differently, I would say. And yeah, and hanging on.
Well, I think a 20-year career in insurance is something to applaud, but 6 years of running a boutique commercial insurance agency is even something that should get much louder applause.
Well, thank you. It's been it's wild to think that it's been that long. But it has been really. So some days I wake up, most days I wake up and I think to myself, why did I choose the hard route? You know?
Yeah. I've always kind of, just as an outsider working on this side of the vendor space in the insurance space, I've always kind of looked at insurance as too similar to SaaS, where homeowners, the personal lines is more that small business software sales, and then commercial lines is more enterprise sales. Because in the
Mhm.
software world, our small business sales are like they're one call closes. They're, one
Right,
or two communications that somebody's either in or they're out, like that rock meme.
right.
Are you in or you out? No, yes or no. Are you in or
Yeah.
you out? But enterprise or commercial, much longer tail, much longer time frames.
Yes, I agree with that. And I would say it's a little different here in Florida in general, but I've always really been based out of South Florida. I mean, even our homeowners, it's not that easy because we need inspections, we need, a DNA. It's just so complicated here. Yeah, I don't know that there's an agency that's doing one close for the home even here. So even just the easier sales that should be naturally easier, it's not, and there's no bundling. So it's like the cross-selling is like, what's the incentive? You gotta be really good at asking for it, at knowing why, at skirting the fact that they're not gonna get a discount and they're aware of that and they don't really love that. So why do I have to give you my auto? So we used to at Allstate, we used to kind of strong arm people a little bit. We never got in trouble because they said, we shouldn't do that, but we were just like, no, we have to quote it. It's not that you have to buy both, but we at least have to quote it so that way we could have the X date,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
So
Well, and
yeah.
I can't imagine because all the legacy media and those larger carriers, those national carriers, they don't really change their ads across the national broadcasting. So all the State Farm, all the farmers, all the Allstate commercials are always talking about bundling and discounts.
Mhm.
And it's got to be brutal for everybody in Florida to be
Right.
dealing with why don't you get a bundling discount? Well, because your home has to be here because there's nowhere else to write it. and your auto
Literally nowhere else.
has to
Yeah,
go
it's
here
like
because there's nowhere else to write it.
the home is with one carrier, the auto's with another,
Yeah,
it's lucky if the umbrella's with the auto carrier.
yeah,
Some of those carriers pulled out too, they wouldn't do the umbrellas, so it's definitely challenging for the personal lines agent too, and it's a much harder sale.
yeah.
And we're getting around the 10% commission too, it's not like these 12 or and they're contingencies.
Yeah.
Our premiums are higher than probably, than the majority of the country, they are larger premiums, but, it's good and bad, I guess.
Well, my wife and I are planning our escape from the Midwest, and I wanna go to the Venice area. I'm like, "But we gotta go inland."
Yeah. The good thing is that you're still by the water, like, it's
Yeah,
close, like, I don't live on the beach, and I'm, like, 20 minutes from the beach,
yeah,
so it's enough where I don't have to have, like, a separate wind policy, so
yeah, I
close
can
enough.
go 30 miles, and that's
Yeah,
a 45-minute drive is better than my current 19-hour drive to
correct,
get to a Florida
correct.
beach.
Yeah, and the 19-hour one isn't to the good ones either, so
No, that's Bradenton. That's Anna Maria, so it's still a good beach,
no,
but
that's
it's like
good. No, 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 that is good. I
yeah,
actually I'm dying to go there, like, that Rosemary Beach area, I haven't been there yet.
yeah, Anna Maria is our favorite. That's our
Yeah.
favorite place, but I just Venice has got some other stuff that I like.
Mhm.
Anyways, the reason I wanted to bring you on is, one of the things many agencies struggle with is not just marketing, but the branding of their agency and understanding what branding means as a business.
Mhm.
So that's what I wanna ask you questions. How
Right.
do you define branding as an insurance agency owner?
So, for me, we did it wrong so many times. We started over, right? We did the last name insurance agency with Allstate. We did the whatever name we it's actually pretty embarrassing in the presentation that I give. That second when we realized that every captive has an independent on the side where they funnel the business through, we opened one immediately. Like we got back from the Bahamas, I got my license, my parents were downstairs. I opened up that independent upstairs and we needed a name. We had no idea what branding was. We didn't know what any of that was. And so we chose Countrywide Insurance Group, which is so embarrassing because we weren't countrywide. We're only riding in Florida. But we did it. My dad said, "Well, since we're new in that space, let's make ourselves seem larger than we are." So we're like, it's a playoff Countrywide Mortgage. And then they tanked.
Yeah.
And then our phone was ringing because people were upset about their mortgages.
Mhm.
So we had to change it fast. We rebranded it ourselves. We were like, okay, we'll just take CWI, which is Countrywide Insurance Underwriters, and we changed it to that. And then we hired agency performance partners back then. Even I mean, we sold in 2018. Kelly's been around for a really long time, and we actually hired them to help us with the rebrand. Um, and it was painful, not on their part, for us. It was painful because the questions that they were asking us were painful. It was like, why do you do what you do? What connection do you have to the logo? What does your name mean? And none of it meant anything. We were desperate, right? And so when we opened up this one, I knew that I wanted to do something different. And so the long answer to your very short question is I think that for me, I wanted my agency name to make people feel something. So for me, a brand is a feeling. It's a it's a gut feeling. Like instantly, are you attracted or does it remove trust, right? Like do you feel connected or you don't? I'm not saying that if you don't, you can't be. But for me, it is very strong on the gut feeling. And so I knew that I wanted to build a commercial only agency. And I knew I wanted someone to feel something when they heard the bunker. And we actually went through a little mini rebrand because we initially were the bunker risk shelter. And, it made sense to everyone in my circle and to me, but the public doesn't use risk.
Right.
They just don't. And so then we were getting calls about being an animal shelter. So it was like, man, we missed the mark again. We thought we got it. Even though we would call ourselves the bunker, right?
Mhm.
But it still just wasn't hitting. And then finally I just added insurance and risk management, got rid of the risk shelter. It was almost too abstract.
Yeah.
And so we're just the bunker. And I knew that I wanted it to kind of be similar to like Uber, like visually,
Mhm.
because it's so known. and it's modern, and so I just and I've accomplished it. I know I have, and people, in this industry tell me too. Whenever I speak to agents about branding and stuff, they're just like, "Man, but you got the name." Like this one guy came up to me after speaking at One City World Tour, and he was like, "I'm so mad that that's such an obvious play on what we do, and how has nobody ever thought of it?" And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, I should probably trademark this." So I did.
Y Besides Bunker, do you know what my second favorite insurance brand is, agency brand is?
Which one?
Portal.
Oh, I love Portal.
It is the connection, the
Yeah,
port of Alabama,
yeah.
because 'cause they're in Mobile, like, you can't like, okay, Mobile insurance, like, okay, that's everybody, but, like, Portal.
I love and so let's evaluate Bradley, right? So he's so chill,
Yeah.
right? And you can tell that he runs his agency that way. You can tell that he's very smart, but very chill, but very confident, very playful. The aesthetics of, I mean, I've never been there, but the aesthetics of the agency is that way, right? Like, talk about an agency brand that is in its entirety, it makes sense. Portal is one of them.
Yep.
It's like catchy, uh, it goes with him, it goes with his staff. It's amazing. It like I love it. I love the I don't wanna say ruggedness of like how their office, but like how what's the word? Bare, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah,
Raw,
minimalist.
maybe?
Yeah, minimalist or raw.
Minimalist, yeah, minimalist, maybe. I love it. I love everything about it. I love the logo. I love the name. It fits him perfectly, the way they reference it too, right? Like, I love it. And you know that it's felt through his hiring,
Oh,
through all the way down to his clients. It is, I hate to say this word, but it's a vibe, right? Like, Portal is something that you feel.
yep. The same thing,
So
like, that's the way and this kinda leads me to my next thing. Let's talk about branding versus brand.
mhm,
'Cause
mhm,
everybody goes, "Oh, well, I need to rebrand my business." I'm like, "No, you need to work on your branding."
mhm.
As a marketer, brand is more the feeling that people have about you when you're not in the room or the feeling that the things that they see about you and how they
Mhm.
make you feel
And what
versus
they say about you. How do they talk about you,
Yep.
right? Like, I think that for me, it was important because, again, South Florida, insurance hell, right?
Mhm.
I knew it. I don't have a million appointments. I knew that what I'm going after is heavy E&S. I'm playing against a lot of big box agencies here, right? And so I knew I needed to make something that was bigger than me. And I'm not going to get that with last name insurance. You have to have a really cool last name to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Gravier is not it.
Uh, no, I mean,
No.
I no, so I've gone round and round with a really good friend of ours about his last name agency. But I keep telling him, like, it in the Midwest, having a last name agency, I think actually helps you.
It matters.
Even if
It
you're
matters.
not in the like he's gone into other cities, but having that last name makes it feel like it's not an Allstate or a State Farm or a
Mhm.
farmer's agency. It is somebody who's probably connected to the community, whether or not you have an office in that city or not. I think there's that difference where at the end of the day, depending on what your goal with the agency is, if your goal is to eventually get acquired or get picked up, that company, that PE company isn't gonna care. It's gonna be their name at the end of the day
Right.
anyways.
Right.
So don't like, I've always told people, like, don't hyper focus. If you already have a last name agency, it's not gonna make a my and this is just from a marketer's opinion and someone who's watched some of these acquisitions happen. It doesn't it's not gonna hurt your business. But
I
if you're trying to build a differentiate
Yeah.
in a very tough, highly competitive, very big market, I see the value of going to a non-name brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I think that for a while, before the venture came in and started acquiring agencies, it mattered more because I think it would increase the value of your agency to be detached, to
Yep.
not be the name of it,
Yep.
right? To your point, yeah. But some of us may not be acquired by venture, right? Like they're just maybe we're not their appetite, we're not big enough, whatever.
Yep.
But I do believe that there is a benefit to being separated from the agency, not being your name not being the one attached to it, because I think that could affect you at time of sale as far as like how connect are people connected to the
It
agency or are people connected to you?
Well, and
Um,
that's I think that comes into the operational. Are you working in the agency? Are you working on the agency? Are you the one people call
right.
when they need a quote or they need service? Or are you, like, getting yourself out of the sales and service side of the business and actually running the business as an owner?
Like if you think about Bradley and Portal, how many people even like how many of the clients know who Bradley is?
Right.
That honestly, that's goals to be able to run an agency
Yep.
like that. That's separated, where Portal is owned by someone, but they don't necessarily have to know who it is. That's my
Yeah.
goal at least.
Yeah.
One day.
Just yeah. Now, let's talk about your visuals.
Yeah.
How did you decide? Like, you had this idea, and then you came up did you go visuals first, or did you go name and then work backwards on the visuals?
So visuals, I knew I always wanted it to be bold. Um and I'm just attracted to the less is more. That
Well,
in
yeah.
my life, my style, um if I had unlimited money, Restoration Hardware would just decorate my house and design my house. Very very big furniture, even in some tight spaces, just to make a statement. Like that is my vibe. So I knew that I wanted people to just almost be a little rattled, I guess, because, as a marketer, all the insurance agency stuff looks the same. That's why I didn't go the blue or the orange, right? Everyone's using blue or orange. No, I didn't want to use it. And so, um, I don't, I think I went name first, but it was always bold first. Like I knew it was going to be bold. And also I knew I was going to be targeting male dominated spaces. Like, I'm targeting contractors and manufacturers. They're I can't make an agency with lilac, right?
Right.
I just can't. So, I knew who I was going after, so that helped me kind of be able to push the envelope a little bit and just be a little bit bolder, with the visuals. And so, I really, really just I mean, if anyone's ever seen my presentations, even my slides, like I was just at InsureCon and Casey Nelson presented after me and he was like, "I'm gonna need Ciara to fix my slides. There's too many words on it." And like even that, it's just one word, bold, big. Like this is the point.
Do you know how many presentations I watched where people literally just read their slides?
Yeah, no, no.
That's not the
It's so
point.
funny too. No, and it's funny because when people are like, "Oh, are you willing to send your slide like before the presentation? Are you willing to send your slides in?" And I was like, "Sure, but nobody it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything to anybody."
Well, I learned slide presentation in the military. And in the military, again, like, you can't put the things you're talking about down
Right. Right.
in paper most of the time. It's that slide bullet is just a mental note to keep you on track.
Right.
So
Right.
let's talk about that. We can talk about that later. But I
Yeah.
want to hit on something you talked about, the blue and orange. Everybody, I don't, again, as a marketer, I know why people use those colors. You do too. But
Mhm.
let's talk. I want to hit on that. Those are It's so funny that those are the colors we use for brand safety when it was just an optimization experiment in the 80s and 90s that go, "Hey, we're gonna," and it was probably, I don't remember which consulting company, but it was probably Deloitte or something that went,
Right.
"Hey, we're gonna do this big massive experiment. We're gonna find the 2 most safe colors that make people," and it's like, it you can go weird colors. You can have canopies color. So I'm color deficient. I have several colors where I can't see. I struggle and they're off to me. So my very first request when I joined the company was I need a color code sheet. our primary brand color is one of those colors I can't see. So, uh,
Necessary.
yeah, 'cause I was sending ads over to my content manager. She was like, I gotta fix these because they weren't anywhere near."
Right, right, right. Yeah, I think for me too, it's almost like it's our way to be different, right? I think that for so long, the independent agent has tried to play it safe, but now with the power of the internet and the space that the internet has given us, the big box agencies are still playing it safe. They're not allowed to do what we have the freedom to do. So for me, I think it's like, why would I use this opportunity to be like everyone else in my like just to look like another independent agency? Like it's a business and an insurance agency.
Mhm.
I'm allowed to be creative and use my freedom. It's my business. So I think that like if anything, I'm just trying to differentiate myself not just from the big box. Obviously, I'm different, right? Like you know that immediately. But like from every I mean here in my complex right here, I have an Allstate behind me. I have an independent over there in my shopping center right here. There's 3 insurance agencies. Why wouldn't I do something completely different that's going to make me memorable?
Well, and it is like advertising. I'll get a lot of feedback from people about my ads. And I'm like, guess what? My ads work because they don't look like ads.
Right.
They look like memes, or they look like the things that
Yeah.
people are interacting with on social media. So that's what I'm gonna do. Like, we
Right.
do some brand ads and things like that just
Mhm.
'cause I have to. But yeah, the same advertise all of these components of marketing. Yeah, if you can't stand out, there's no reason for anybody to talk to you.
Right.
They
We're
and
we're a commodity. We're like realtors. I don't know where you are, but here there's a million realtors.
yeah.
Everyone knows 5.
Mhm.
Why would I choose anybody?
Yep.
And as the internet progresses and social media progresses and influences our buying decisions, visuals are going to be more important than what we're saying.
Yep.
Because if it doesn't stop the scroll, what are we doing?
Yep.
It's a lot. It's my dad tells me all the time, Ciara, we took a year off. We sold in 2018. I opened November of 2019. And he tells me everything changed in that year. It was so easy for us to be successful because you just had to be an honest insurance agent, right? Like at least for us, that was our path. We were in a BNI. We did very well for ourselves. We returned people's phone calls. We were there when they need, very basic business. And now it's just like you have this pressure to just be everywhere and to be memorable and to stand out and you can't do that in a way where it's obnoxious or inauthentic. It's complex now. It really is.
Yeah. Well, and you just said something. Again, we don't have to be everywhere,
Mhm,
especially in social media.
mhm.
I was talking to an agent this morning, and he was asking me he asked me some questions about social media, and I said, "You pick a channel you like, that
Mm.
you know or think your customers are at. You hang out there. You don't have to be on 7 social media platforms. You don't have to make a TikTok, a reel, and a short. You don't have to do all those. You don't even have to do you don't have to do video if you're not comfortable with it. You can make posts, or you can write posts, or you can make a graphic and support that way. Um, but our businesses, so many of our businesses are like, there's so much pressure to be everywhere all the time, and it drives me crazy. I hang out on Twitter, even though I know it's dying. It's the place I like. It's the
Mhm.
it's that thing that I like, and I I post on LinkedIn, we post on social media, but we're not on every channel.
Mhm.
Um, even as we have a dedicated marketing team. We have 3 people who are we're all very, very good at what we do, and I'm like, "I don't wanna make any TikToks. Do you wanna make TikToks? No. Okay, cool. We don't have to."
Right, then don't. Right, right. Well, I think it also should be authentic to you, like you said, right? Even how you're showing up online, like this concept of people make content for their audience instead of just making content for who you are, right? What do you want to be known for? So it's like choose 2 or 3 things that you want to be known for and filter the content creation through that because that's what people will remember. People will start to say, "Oh, this sounds like Ciara." And then, "Oh, it is." Right? It's that tone of you have to be consistent. So showing up consistently with through a tone that's true to you instead of trying to pivot like for example, me, like, I'm not one that's hops on the trends. The TikTok trends or any trend, because that's not who I am. That's
Yeah.
not what my brand is either. My brand is it's bold, but I want it to be like, it's a bunker. I want it to be safe and unshakable, right? We don't pivot from trends, right?
Yeah.
We're steadfast. We're here. Even in my creation of content, that's how I want it to come through. I'm channeling it through the identity that is me and the bunker,
Yeah.
not pivoting to everything that changes constantly. And this, even on TikTok, like I use TikTok personally. I'm not on it really for my insurance stuff. I keep that to mainly LinkedIn, and then my Instagram. It's a little more playful,
Yeah.
showing a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Well, so and this has been my take on, especially for businesses, insurance agencies, software companies. I look at the channels and everybody looks at each channel like, hey, I can just post across the same across each one.
Hmm.
I'm like, no, Facebook is more personal.
Hmm.
It's even
Hmm.
as a brand, as a business account, it's still, you know, sharing like sharing team wins and sharing birthdays and sharing celebrations of like cool things your customers are doing, or cool things going on in your community. I look at Instagram as like it's a visual thing. So you want pictures of your team, you want pictures of your community, you want pictures of the things and here's your prospective employees. These are the
Right.
places they're going to look and they want to go see what is this company like. It's not just about it's just not just about prospects and customers. Your prospective employees are going to look at these things. So I've always pushed Facebook is the place you talk about your business and your community and the things you're doing, cool things you're doing. Instagram's more team building. We do like at Canopy, what we do is like when a new employee comes in, we do a spotlight of them. And they get, they do a hot take, which don't go look at the latest one. It'll make you upset. I watched it. I'm like, no, that's instant jail. Go to jail. But
Now
those
I'm
are
gonna have to go watch it.
yeah, right. But those are, I mean, and then LinkedIn is a professional network.
Yeah.
So I was posting one time, and I let us and I was writing organically, like writing, and I let a swear word in there, and they gave me a, do you really want to post this?
That's interesting.
And but again, it's a professional network, and then
Right.
TikTok and Reels and Shorts, those are short
That's different.
form,
Yeah.
fun. I love the skits when people do them, especially the funny insurance ones, or like the cheerleader clapper one right now. I see the trend I see going on right now. That one just it cracks me up. Yeah. Like way to cyberbully your coworker.
This is what the problem is. There is a skill gap with creating content. We're not born knowing how to do this. This is a learned skill. It's a learned skill to be able to express yourself. The more AI creeps up, the more the storytelling skill is going to be necessary.
Mhm.
The more weight the humanity of what we're posting is going to have. So I think that, like, I just spoke last week at InsureCon, and I told everyone in the audience, if you like, don't just sit back and say, "Man, that person makes such good content." No, they learned it.
Mhm.
This is a
Oh,
learned skill.
yeah. So on my personal YouTube channel, one of the very first videos I ever made is my featured video on YouTube. On like if you go to my YouTube account, that's the one that it auto plays. It's so bad, but I'm not gonna take it down either because it's
No.
also a humbling reminder of
Right.
where I am today
Right.
on
Right.
creating content. Yeah,
Right.
the first videos I made were
Oh my god,
terrible.
awful. Mine were so bad. I remember it took me hours, and I was mortified to hear my voice, and it's so bad, but it's something. It's literally riding a bike.
Yep,
You learn, you pivot, and then it's free at the beginning, right? Everyone has a cell phone. Turn your cell phone around, talk. Go outside, stand in the sun, talk, right?
yep,
Once you start making it enough, all right, you gotta spend some money. You gotta upgrade it a little bit, right? And then you do that long enough, then you gotta upgrade it a little bit more. It's like that, right? Because then people get used to seeing you. They wanna see a different background, that stop the scroll type stuff. But really, I people it's a cop out to be like, "Oh, I don't know how to make it." Well, none of us did.
no,
Just start and learn. I'm telling people, it's a line item like a sales training. For your producers, it is a line item just like that. It's teach them how to make content.
yep. We do when we go to events, we run geo-targeted ads at the event space, and I make all of my salespeople go outside. I give them a very short 45-second script. they can riff off of. It doesn't even have to be my script.
Mhm.
And say, just go outside, point your camera at your face, and read this.
It's literally
That's it.
everyone's
Well,
worst nightmare.
when I first introduced this idea to the company, everybody's like, "Oh, well, it's not going to be very high quality." I'm like, "That's the point.
Mhm,
I want real people.
mhm,
I want toe in the headlight looks and
mhm,
staring at the camera because it's real and it's not heavily scripted. It's not overproduced. That stuff works so much better
mhm.
than like. And I have a top of the line webcam that I use for. I created a ton of great. My lighting kind of sucks because I'm just in a dark basement. Um, and I wear glasses, so it's always
Oh,
uh,
it's the worst.
yeah.
The reflection on the glass, like, I'm over it too. I'm just like, "Whoa, whatever."
I just
People know I wear
I
glasses.
did. Yep.
And they're not for, like, aesthetics. I need them, so I can't do anything about it.
No, I wouldn't be able to see your face without these on.
Yeah.
Um, there's a ton of times I did a series last year on my Ring camera,
Mhm.
and
Wow.
it outperformed everything else I was doing for that period.
It's funny, I've been creating content more consistently. Like, I have the podcast that I do really just because I was super tired of networking and it was just a way to kind of get back my time. But I started creating like talking head videos again. It had been a while. I hadn't done it. And I realized already, okay, like my background's kind of boring. I got to change it up. I got to do something. So I spent $800, got somebody to sit down with me. She does content. It was a package through a community that I'm a part of. So it was a special price, but she gave me 6 reels, right? And they're high end, they're edited different than what I put out. So, it's just, and I'm gonna do those once a quarter to kinda stop the scroll, change it up a little bit, right? But what I do is I post it on my bunker page, and I'll, like, invite myself, personally as a collaborator. But then on my personal page, I put all the bloopers
Oh, I
for
love
people to see. It took me 11 and a half minutes to record a video that was a minute 40.
yeah. I remember
I want people to see. I paid someone to make me look good.
I love that when I first started doing this stuff, I was at another company, and we spent 40 minutes to get 1 2-minute clip, and even then, it was pieced together from all the parts. It wasn't even a
Oh,
1
yeah,
big clip.
yeah, no, 100%. That's how mine are even here. Like, I'll say a sentence, and then I'll stop, and I'll give my editor, like, the thumbs up, like, "Use that one." Then if I have to do it again, I'll say I'm gonna do it again. It is, you gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah.
you know?
So, we are at 33 minutes, and I
Tangent,
told
complete
you
tangent on videos
so
and on content.
oh, I mean, this is the stuff people actually
Yeah.
watch for. Before we kinda end things, if anybody wants to connect with you, if anyone wants to learn more about branding or Bunker, what's our best way to connect with you?
At Bunker Your Risk on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, Ciara Gravier on Facebook too. I have a personal Instagram too. We have a YouTube channel at Bunker Your Risk, and I'm pretty accessible. You can find me anywhere, and yeah, happy to chat. I'm super passionate about this and helping insurance agents really get a modern look and feel, because I think that I always say it in my presentation, it's offensive to me. I have my designations, I've done a lot of work to get and maintain those, and I think there's going to be a point in time where the agency that makes more noise is going to get more opportunities just because they're making noise, not because they're qualified. And that bothers me. Like, if you're a good insurance agent and you know what you're doing and you're good at what you're doing, you know, show up, make the noise so that you get the opportunities. And then the new person down the street that doesn't know anything is just slinging insurance, you know, doesn't get it.
Absolutely.